Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Sharon with UCDI Leadership, which simply stands for You Can Do It. Subsidiary of Do Something Daily LLC. We're in the 30-day reset, and this should be streaming to the 30-day reset page and the Think on Purpose group, also to the YouTube page. So if you're only sharing, you should not be seeing this. If you are seeing it, please send me a private message because we only were doing that last week. All right, so I hope everyone had a really good weekend. I hope y'all were able to complete the brain dump, get everything out of your head onto paper. And then immediately after that, you want to rest. You want to rest before and you want to rest immediately after because you do exert energy. There's an effort that's put out when you're doing the brain dump. It is not as easy as it sounds. You're writing a lot more than you thought you would write. We really have no idea how many things run through our mind until we begin to write it out and see just a visual indicator of how many thoughts are flitting. These synapses, the synaptic thing that's going on all day, every day in your mind, we really have no idea how many of those things are occurring. And so I hope everyone was able to complete their brain dump. That brain dump is essential, it's critical, and it is imperative. Like, it's very important for you to be able to clearly make plans, to clearly decide where you want to move. It's easy to say where you want to go when you're in a place of crisis or in a place of overwhelm. And if you haven't done some of these steps that we talked about and you're just jumping in now and you're like, oh, I'll just start now because I'm great and I can and I'm a high performer, you will still be overwhelmed. I'm not mad if I'm wrong in that. If you are the exception to the rule, I applaud your exceptionalness, if that's even a word. I applaud how exceptional you are, but the high probability is you will be overwhelmed. And some of the questions you may ask, you can find some of the answers in previous videos. Now, to bring it back to the brain dump, being able to see clearly what is going on, what's getting your attention, where your thoughts are going, where your energy is going, where your focus is going. As you begin to look at all those things on the page, you're able to see, oh, this has nothing to do with the price of rice in China. I don't need to be dealing with it. I don't need to be giving it time right now. This is on here. It doesn't have anything to do with my goals, but I do need to address it. And that's where that Q system comes in, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and you can place it in the appropriate quadrant so you can give it attention, but you don't have to be overwhelmed and like, I got to do it. So you can place it in these places. And you're like, well, that takes time that I don't have. Trust me, if you don't make time to do these things, you won't have time to do the things you want to do. Message, just let that sit for a minute. Okay, so as you're looking for the things, you can see what I need to place in quadrants, what I need to completely remove, and what I really need to give my attention to so that I can move things forward, so I can see progress. It is possible to see a tremendous amount of progress, even in a short amount of time, if you focus not just your mind, but also your members, like what you give volition to, what you use your body and your resources, and you point it in certain directions, and you're able to get things done a lot faster. And that inside even gives you more intrinsic value because now you're building momentum, not on what you said you were going to do, but what's actually getting done. And that, my friends, is a game changer. When you go from your intentions to the actual actions aligning up, it's a game changer. And then you really understand, no, all things are possible. God knew what he was talking about when he said all things are possible through him. He knew what he was talking about. He wasn't playing. And so, again, I hope that you were able to do that brain dump. And from the place of brain dump, look at the things you really want to give your attention to. And now, at that point, I want you to rewrite your goals again. And this time, I want your goals to be like SMART goals. I want it to be specific. I want you to have things in there like, how am I going to measure my process? Am I going to use a visual indicator, a consistency tracker? What am I using to measure the progress and the movement that I'm making toward those goals? Is this actually attainable? Do I want to create a water park in the middle of the ocean? What is the benefit of that? There's water all around. You probably don't need a water park there. A water park in the desert, hey, you're killing the game because water is a better commodity there. So is it realistic and relevant? Is this something that I can actually do? Do I have the time for it? Do I have the personnel for it? Do I really have the heart and the energy to do this sustainably? Is this a short-term goal or is this a long-term goal? So you want to say, is this realistic and relevant and time-bound? What are my end goals? If it's a life goal, And are you doing quarterly check-ins? Are there weekly check-ins? Is it monthly check-ins, biannual, annual? What type of check-in, what type of time measurement am I using to say, okay, I'm still on track. Now we start it again. I'm on track. Let's begin this cycle over again because this is a lifetime goal. And so with you rewriting your goals after your brain dump, post brain dump, like for me, over the weekend and things, like my stuff is clearer now. I had a pretty decent weekend, pretty relaxed, not a bunch of in that place of overwhelm, but knowing that I'm in my reset period. And so my goals reflect that place of calmness, that place of chillness, that place of, okay, this is what I want to do. And so from that place, I'm like, all right, what are my next 3 critical goals? What are my next 3 critical goals? I don't need my next 30. Somebody else can have the next 30. I just need to know what are my next 3. And so I'm asking you to write your goals again in this 30-day reset after, on this side of your brain dump, where your brain is clearer and you can clearly say, no, that I don't need to do that. I don't want that. And when you're writing your goals too, you say, what I am going to do. Most goals include someone other than you. So if I am going to enroll in night school and I have a family, then I need to communicate with my family. Someone's not going to get the time that I'm giving to night school. Someone's going to have to pick up the duties that I would normally do, or even if it's just assumed that I would do them while I'm in night school. So you actually need to communicate that with key, what I call them, stakeholders, people who are going to influence that. If I need to set a goal that has something to do with somebody was talking about getting a license, then I actually have to go and find out what are the requirements for this license. When do they, what are the deadlines? Are there prerequisites to this license? Are there things I have to turn in before I even am able to sit for the license? And so again, that even though I am going to do that, it includes other people, other entities, other systems and processes that you will need to be familiar with. And so these are things you have to take into account as you're doing your reset. These things must be taken into account as you're doing your reset, or else it's very easy to be deluded by your intentions, but you have no practical way of reaching your goals. And that's what we're talking today about. Go for it. Go is your goals and objectives. The goal is what I want to do, what I am going to do. This is what I have set my mind to, and I will accomplish. Should the Lord tarry and I'm breathing, and all things remain constant, I will accomplish this. Now, the objective is the means by which I'm going to accomplish it. So when you hear me say go for it, go period, oh period, please know that I'm saying goals and objectives. They go hand in hand. One without the other, they must work together. If they don't work together, then it's not sustainable. It's not even really feasible for you to think that this is going to accomplish. You're going to accomplish this. So you need your goals and you need your objectives. When I say go for it, I want you to hear goals and objectives. Go for it. Goals and objectives. Goal, what I am going to accomplish. Not what I'm going to try to do. I think I'm going to do this or such and such. No. All of that is before the brain dump. After the brain dump, your goal becomes a commitment to you, to yourself, to your family, to whatever. It is a commitment. Now you're giving your word. I am going to do this. All things remaining constant should the Lord tarry. Physically able, I am going to do this. Not I'm gonna try. Try gives you an exit strategy. Try is your pre get out of jail type button, where you can say, well, I tried. No, I am going to do this. It's not a try. Either you are or you are not. And if it's not a sincere goal, then why waste time with it? Okay. So that's your goal, and the objective is the means in which you're going to accomplish it. This is how I'm going to accomplish this. And that's why I always encourage people, you don't need 100 goals. If you have them, spread them out over time, but you don't need 100 of them this week. You don't. That's overwhelmed. And if you haven't thought about the objectives for those goals, then it's kind of frustration even on you yourself. And you're training yourself not to believe your own word. And then you get mad at other people because they don't have faith in your projects. But anyway, that's another section on Think on Purpose. Become a part of that group, and we can take a deeper dive into some of those things to uncover some of the inner mechanisms of how those things work, of how those inner judgments and vows work. But I'm bringing it back to the reset. Now on this side of the brain dump, rewrite your goal. Rewrite your goal clearly, commit to those goals, use the goal and the objective, the way by which you're going to do it. And if you are experiencing overwhelm, send me a private message. You can send it via Clubhouse, you can send it via Instagram, you can send it off of Facebook. I don't know if you can send it on YouTube as a private message, but send me something if you're experiencing overwhelm, and I'll send you a link to one of the blog sections off of my website, which really talks about the ability to whip the whelm. And it gives you some concrete steps on how to come out of that place of overwhelm so that you can put one foot in front of the other and begin to work your way out of that place. That's all I have today. I wanted to say too, be sure you have a book that you're reading. If you don't like to read, get into Audible, get you some audiobooks, get something, even if it's YouTube, get something that is feeding your brain and causing creativity and different schools of thought to be initiated, to be stirred up, to be reinvigorated in your mind. Feed your mind. Feed your mind. You have to feed your mind. If you're Jesus, if you're talking about the same thing today that you were talking about 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, if your glory days are your high school days and nothing else since then you are on a path to like depression and regret. Hear me when I say it's beautiful things every day. Every day that we wake up, there's something beautiful that we have the opportunity to encounter. And not only is it something beautiful waiting for you to encounter it, there's something beautiful waiting to encounter you. And so I hope you guys understand what I'm saying there. But be a reader, take care of your spiritual life, take care of your physical life, take care of your mental life, take care of your financial life. As you guys see, this is what my brain dump, you can't really even see it all. This is what my brain dump looks like on this side of the brain dump. The things that are pulled out, they didn't need to be in there. And I'm pretty excited about it. So yeah, that's all I have today. I've been on about 12 minutes. So let me stop this video. Y'all have a happy Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Be kind to somebody. Be nice to somebody. Not for wealth or fame, but because it's a good thing to do. And if you have questions regarding this spring reset, I'm telling you, the flowers are about to start blooming and you're going to want to be like, oh, I'm ready to go. I want you to be in position to go. And I want you to be in position to go successfully as possible. So let's use this time. Let's use this reset. Reach out to me if you have questions. I'll do my utmost to answer you. This reset does end at the end of March. And so at the end of March, then most of the complimentary stuff will start fading. It will fade out. It'll have a hard date at the end of March. So if you're doing this reset with me and you have questions and you want to grow in it, I'm here and I make myself available throughout this month. Again, not for wealth or fame, but just to help. I'm doing it anyway. So just to help. It's not actually costing me anything to do it this time. It's a sunk cost. My time is already going to this. So partner with me. Let's join up and let's get the most that we can out of the remaining time of this month. Y'all be safe. God bless. Yeah, that's all I got.